Hey everybody, this is Lindsay and we're back at IMEX America with the event icons, and today I have with me John Whitney, who is joining us to talk about risk and the destination and travel events that we're going to. So give us a little bit about your background, because it's not an ordinary one that you would necessarily find here at the events industry space, but unfortunately seems to be a more necessary need we've been having more and more.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. And unfortunately, it is something that we're experiencing a lot more threat, risk associated with meeting and events, and providing with our company, Emergency Concierge International, providing opportunities to assist planners, clients with establishing emergency planning procedures, practices, and preparing for those specific needs associated with meetings and events. My background is I have over 20 years in public safety, educated in Homeland Security as well as emergency management. And my wife and co-founder of ECI is of the events, meetings and events industry. So we kind of found this area needing attention and thought we'd offer a solution for it. So
yeah,
it's a great
I
opportunity.
Like how you call it emergency preparedness, because it's not even just crisis communications. We were talking before we went on the air of like the Boston bombing for the marathon. And I remember talking to the planner at a WC event afterwards, and she was like, literally for the first hour, we were paralyzed. She goes, we had a plan, but we couldn't even do certain things on the plan. We were just sitting in the corner waiting for it to get it out. Yes. Yeah.
And that's one of the things where when we come in and we provide that area of subject matter expertise with on-site, incident command teams and structures, that familiarity of working through those processes and building plans that are, battle tested, realistic, fiscally responsible, because and applying them under the context of those stressful situations, really recognizing that you can have it's the no plan survives first contact with the enemy sort of situation. Right. Of or everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, the Mike Tyson quote. It's you have to have contingencies, you have to have layers. One of the things we really build upon is not always the if-then model of planning, but more strategic level planning of you can't always forecast every single eventuality or possibility that might occur from a risk standpoint, but you want to build sound structures, teams, scalable approaches that are adaptable to a multitude of different types of threats and incidents that may occur at an event.
And one of the other things we were chatting about was the duty of care session that you're doing here. So tell us a little bit about what that is specifically and how it's coming in and you're seeing it be indoctrinated into the events world.
Okay. Yes. Unfortunately, we're seeing an evolving nexus of duty of care in the meetings and events industries. As we discussed earlier, a lot of times what would be reasonably expected of a meeting or event planner or venue or a client hosting an event was not necessarily as accurate as what it's evolving into now. Because of things that are happening at different types of venues, different types of events, it's becoming a reasonable expectation that you provide higher levels of safety and security preparedness for your attendees. So that duty of care, how to avoid that negligence, teaching people the questions to ask, the steps to put into place to make sure that not only are you providing a safe, secure environment, but that you're doing everything in your power to meet that standard of care expectation that is constantly evolving.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a tremendous amount of responsibility to basically run a small city, right?
Yes.
We come in and we have this, but I was reading the paper after one of the recent shootings, and the guy was saying it takes 26 seconds to hit the emergency doors to let us out. He goes, and within 20 seconds, the way that the gun works, and I started thinking about my site visit checklist, and I was like, I would never have even you always go, we try to prepare for the catastrophe. So is that something that your company is helping them doing? Do you have checklists and resources, or is it more the recommendation, like we're the experts, you're the experts in this, bring us in to be your partners for that?
All of our services are customizable, specific to the client, the agenda, the destination. And we can go a multitude of different ways because we recognize that, unfortunately, this is not something that's often budgeted for because it's so evolving. It hasn't hit the line items yet.
Right.
So it is something that we can adapt. We can provide resources. We can provide guidance. What we tell people is if you have a question, just call us. That's the best way to start the conversation. We're really looking to build relationships, not just, get in and cash out. out. We can come in and we can take that 100% off your hands, but what we always do from a relationship standpoint is we integrate in with the planning staff. We use that as a force enhancement to build that crisis response team, because we want the planners to still be included, still be involved, and be aware of the steps that are being in place. It just makes it that much more solid of a response. So we can come in, take it 100% off your hands, or we can help guide you through the process along the way. Either way, it's a very integrative, relationship-based approach.
So where do the venues fit, or the facilities where we're putting this events on? Is that something where you have a coalition, or is it as part of our planning team, we all work together?
Mm-hmm. We coordinate with venues, hotels, security plans. We will go in and review their plans on behalf of the client, bolster up any spots that may be lacking, or if they're sound, solid plans, then help to be a force enhancement for them. A lot of things that we deal with too is we help the hotel and security. We are not there to supersede them, make any bad blood, anything like that. We're really there to assist, be a positive advocate and representative for the client, bolster up any areas of potential, weaknesses or, opportunities for improvement. And then deal with a lot of the ancillary, the hands-on piece, the concierge level service that we provide, whether that's, wrapping your ankle, escort to the hospital, following up with you to make sure that you're okay, post-incident, as well as your transfers, your off-sites, all of those little rabbit holes of emergency planning that it's the world we live in, and that's just how we use it as a coordinated approach, a team-based approach.
So where would you say the events industry is right now, because it is evolving, but if you had on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we ranking currently in our approach to emergency preparedness and being able to handle these kinds of difficult, catastrophic situations?
I would say from if you're talking, to put me on the spot here, but if you're talking overall the entire industry, I'd put it as a 5 and not as a cop-out, but but people are becoming aware. There are people that are putting in the steps needed to make those, and the conversations are being had. I'm sitting here with you today. We're getting invited to speak. A lot of people that we're talking to are putting those steps into place. Right. The difficulty is the amount of bandwidth of time and availability that planners have, which is obviously not abundant. So it's adding this whole other layer that requires subject matter expertise, that requires experience without a bunch of bandwidth to accommodate the time it takes to do it and do it right. Unfortunately, when you combine those two, that need, the technicality of it, as well as the potential lack of experience, amount of time it takes, unfortunately it can lead to people taking shortcuts to where I hired in this company and they're just handling it. Well, you still have that responsibility to make sure that company's doing what they're supposed to be doing. We'd say, not all security is created equal. There are different degrees and levels of security, and it's not just about security in the traditional realm. It's about safety, security, preparedness, response, and recovery. It's evolving to a whole other package than what traditional security necessarily provides.
So where would planners or people inside the events industry, where could we go to get more resources?
The different trade publications obviously have some great resources, great articles talking about, duty of care, crisis communication, different areas like that. The different trade organizations and associations that with the group, they have a lot of those opportunities. The difficult thing is, a short training class in emergency planning, it will get you a good start, but the time and energy it takes to do it and do it right, as well as the subject matter expertise to go down those lines, sometimes make it more complicated. Tons of resources and information, and then we always tell folks, like we said, just give us a call. We can start the conversation, and we're happy to talk to you on the phone and kind of get you in line of what are those things you're trying to look for. You've been assigned to build this plan. What are some steps? Just give us a call and we can talk about it.
So what is your website again?
Our website is emergencyconcierge.net, and my email is jwhitney, JWHITNEY at emergencyconcierge.net. I just spell it out. It's not on my shirt, so I got confused.
Yeah, I can't use my last name sometimes, so I'm right.
Yes. So you can check that out. And there's info, there's contact information, and like I said, you got a question, just call us. We're happy just to talk through it and see where you're at. And you might, and you very well might find that, hey, you got a lot of good things in place. Let's just shore up these areas. Or we might go, well, you got a lot of work to do, so let's just start.
Yeah.
And don't let the daunting, the amount of work. Sometimes even if it's a last minute or there's an event coming up close, it's let's get something in place. Let's get something going to start that process. And we can even talk to you about, questions you should be asking venues, questions you should be asking hotels. If you're going to hire someone in, what are those things you should be looking for, ensuring that your needs are being covered.
And how to talk to the hotels about it, because their way of communicating,
Exactly.
or if you're an international destination, their normal may not be your normal, may not be those attendees' normal.
Exactly. And really recognizing, from the hotel or the destination's hotel standpoint, that these clients are traveling to destinations that, you may be, as a hotel or destination, very comfortable with your own destination. The clients may not be. It may be their first time out of country. It may be their first time, traveling to that country or that destination. It's that, basic communication, sender and receiver comfort. We look a lot, and that's where we come in, of that advocate for the receiver of that information of, no, we want to make sure that client feels comfortable, feels safe and secure. Being that balanced approach of being, from our background, emergency services, but also tied into the meetings and event history, clients, attendees want to have a good, fun, safe event. They want to feel safe. They want to feel secure, but they also don't want to feel overly policed, overly regulated, or, so uncomfortable with the scenario that they're kind of questioning, why are we even here if it's that bad? So we work a lot to navigate through that, sensitive to the specific needs of meetings and events.
I'm so excited just to hear that there are more firms like yours popping up, because it is a very big topic that I think all of us are struggling with, because they're such unique situations, and it's always frightening to go, oh, and if this happens,
Yes.
how Alex teaches in his crisis communications, and then. So
Yes.
Thank you for helping guide that conversation and for sharing just that small tidbit. I sense we will probably be having you back on the podcast to
I would
talk
love to
more
be.
about duty of
Yes.
care. And we'll be back with more great content today here live at IMEX America. Coming back at you soon.
Thank you.